Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into some of the most shocking and unforgettable moments in the show's history. Betrayal has been a recurring theme at Grey Sloan Memorial, leaving us gasping, crying, and sometimes even shouting at our screens. Before we get into the drama, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more Grey's Anatomy content and updates. Now, let's relive the 10 greatest betrayals in Grey's Anatomy. Starting off at number 10, we have April files for restraining order against the Averys. April and Jackson's relationship had already been through significant strain, particularly after the loss of their first child, Samuel, which had caused deep emotional wounds. April's decision to re-enlist in the military as a trauma surgeon after Samuel's death, leaving Jackson behind, had further damaged their marriage and eventually led to their separation.
I don't even want to say it.
You want to go back? There's another plane going to Jordan in a couple of weeks, and you want to be on it.
As April's pregnancy with their second child progressed, she ended up filing a restraining order against Jackson after she heard Catherine admit that she and Jackson were going to try and take the baby away from her. Instead of talking to him, she jumped to the conclusion that what Catherine had said was the truth and began proceedings. While April did realize her mistake as soon as she spotted the crib he bought, we will never forget the shock on Jackson's face when he received the papers.
Restraining order? April filed a restraining order against me.
And at number 9, we have Owen cheating on Cristina. Cristina, an ambitious and career-driven surgeon, was clear from the beginning that she did not want to have children. Her focus was always on her surgical career, and she was passionate about becoming the best in her field. Owen, on the other hand, deeply wanted to start a family and become a father. They both loved each other, but they wanted different things from life. When she decided not to have children and then had an abortion, he decided to hurt her by cheating.
I'm not cheating on you with that. But I did cheat on you.
He hooked up with a friend of a patient, and later on he had a long, traumatizing conversation about his unfaithfulness with her. This conversation showed the deep emotional wounds they both carried and underscored how their differing life goals had driven an insurmountable wedge between them. At number 8, we have Catherine buying Pac-North to get back at Richard. Richard joined Pac-North after a series of events at Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital had led to significant downfall in his career and personal life. The issue revolved around Meredith's involvement in an insurance fraud scheme.
Richard, did you put your daughter's name down on the insurance forms? Tell me you didn't.
She has excellent insurance.
She had committed fraud to save a young patient who couldn't afford necessary surgery. Richard, who had long been a mentor and father figure to Meredith, supported her decision and stood by her throughout the ordeal. When the hospital administration discovered this, it led to serious consequences, including Meredith being fired and facing potential legal action. Richard's loyalty to Meredith ultimately resulted in him being fired from Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital.
What do you want to do?
What I want to do? Well, my God. I mean, what can I do? You're fired.
What?
All three of you. You're all fired.
A place where he had spent the majority of his career. In the wake of his firing and the conflict with Catherine, Richard decided to join Pac-North, a hospital where he could start fresh. When she realized that he had joined Pac-North, she went ahead and purchased it out of sheer spite, so that Richard would have no choice but to return to the hospital where she worked. At number 7, we have Teddy sleeping with Tom. Teddy Altman and Owen Hunt's relationship had always been complicated, marked by years of friendship, missed opportunities, and unspoken feelings. After finally deciding to commit to each other, especially following the birth of their daughter Addison, they were set to get married. Tom is a highly skilled neurosurgeon known for his brilliance in the operating room. He develops a close relationship with Teddy, with whom he shares a deep bond, especially during her pregnancy. One of the latest betrayals happened when Teddy ended up sleeping with Tom the same day that she was supposed to get married to Owen.
Some boundaries protect us. Some lines.
Shockingly, Teddy's act with Tom got mistakenly recorded in her mobile phone and accidentally sent to Owen, and he was heartbroken. At number 6, we have Arizona betraying Callie Torres. Callie and Arizona's marriage had been strained ever since Arizona had to have her leg amputated from the aftermath of the plane crash. She had never quite forgiven Callie, and they had often argued over the decision numerous times.
Snap out of this?
I can fight.
How the hell am I supposed to snap out of this when you cut off my leg?
Although the couple agreed to make sure they were constantly communicating with each other over their feelings, many fans were shocked at how the infidelity came out of nowhere. Arizona ends up having a brief affair with Dr. Lauren Boswell, further damaging her relationship with Callie. Coming up at number 5, we have Addison cheating on Derek. Addison Montgomery, Derek's wife, had an affair with his best friend, Mark Sloan, which led to the breakdown of her marriage with Derek.
I haven't seen you all day.
I didn't want to see you today.
This affair is revealed when Addison unexpectedly arrives in Seattle to try to repair her marriage with Derek. Derek had left New York and moved to Seattle to escape the pain of the betrayal, but Addison's arrival forces him to confront the issues in their relationship. To make matters worse, Derek also learned that Addison and Mark also had a 3-month relationship before she came to Seattle looking for a reconciliation. Derek was deeply hurt by her revelation. At number 4, we have Derek going back on his promise to Meredith. The aftermath of the plane crash resulted in Derek's left hand being severely injured. Many bones were broken, and there was significant nerve damage, and it was going to be difficult to get the hand to function properly. Callie was able to fix his hand, with the help of the donation of a nerve from the leg of Derek's sister Liz. This was a very long fight for Derek. He thought he would never operate again and resulted in teaching the interns in the skills lab. Derek offered to stay back at home with the kids while Meredith could take some time off for her research and career. He, however, had to eventually go back on his promise when he got a call from the President of the United States and was asked to be part of a brain mapping project for the White House.
I'm sorry, Derek, but it's pretty clear from our agreement, we and the NIH hired you, and your sensors come with you.
He wanted to move to DC with his family so that he could take up the opportunity. However, that meant that Meredith would have had to give up all her friends and her own career in Seattle to build a new life from scratch in DC with the 2 kids. And at number 3, we have Bailey replacing Richard. Richard Weber was Miranda's mentor and almost a father figure to her. So it came as a shock when she simply replaced Richard as the head of the surgical residency program with Eliza Minnick. Eliza Minnick is a consultant hired by Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital to revamp their surgical residency program. Bailey agreed with Catherine when she suggested that she needed to take a look at the hospital's residency program and even forgot to inform Richard that he had been replaced.
Look, I gave Dr. Minnick permission to interact with the staff how she sees fit.
Are you giving her my job?
Richard was shocked and disappointed, and his relationship with Miranda suffered for a while. At number 2, we have Mark betraying Derek. Mark and Derek were much more than friends. They were more like brothers who had grown up together. Derek's parents had showered Mark with love, treating him like a son, and then Mark ended up betraying Derek in the worst possible way by sleeping with his wife, Addison. He also slept with Derek's sister-in-law, Lexi, which didn't exactly make things better. Of course, Mark loved Lexi, but his relationship with Derek took a huge hit after his affair with Addison. Finally, at number 1, we have Meredith tampering with Derek's clinical
Dr.
trial.
Hunt that Dr. Gray tampered with my clinical trial. She switched around the placebos and the drugs, probably invalidating my trial.
Possibly the worst betrayal that anyone went through in Grey's Anatomy was Derek Shepard, who discovered that his clinical trial had been tampered with by none other than Meredith Grey herself. Meredith was trying to do what she thought was the right thing by changing the envelopes in the trial. Since Adele's health had declined due to Alzheimer's disease, Meredith tampered with the trial to make sure she was eligible for the medication instead of the placebo. However, Derek and Meredith's dream relationship hit a rough patch when Meredith's betrayal was discovered. As we wrap up our journey through the 10 greatest betrayals in Grey's Anatomy, it's clear that these moments have left lasting scars on our favorite characters and dramatically shaped their paths. Whether it's friends turning into enemies, lovers breaking hearts, or colleagues undermining each other, betrayal has been a driving force in the intense drama that keeps us all hooked. These betrayals have tested relationships, challenged loyalties, and shown us that even in a place dedicated to saving lives, no one is immune to the pain of being let down by those they trust. But it's also in these moments of betrayal that we see the true resilience of the characters, as they navigate the fallout and find ways to move forward, often stronger than before. Thanks for joining me today, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the most unforgettable moments from Grey's Anatomy. See you in the next video.